What's going on, guys? This is Real Deal Fantasy HQ with your boy LQ back in for another great episode. Today's episode, I'm talking about rookie QBs bold prediction for week 1. These three guys, I think, can have some really big weeks. This is my bold prediction. Not saying this will happen, but I really think this is possible. I think this can be put in the universe as almost as a 100% maybe. You know what I mean? I'm not saying these events may happen, but it'll be really cool to see some of these things happen. So don't be surprised if I hit on all three. Yeah, that's tongue in the cheek saying. But anyway, I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get right into the episode. So we are here for bold predictions for our QBs that are rookies that I think will be able to step up and perform and be great, and maybe they make some big points on our bench, because not all three of these guys are probably going to be on your starting lineup come week 1. But again, the only guy that I believe will be a starter for some lineups, some people that waited late in the 1 QB leagues, Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence, I have a bold prediction. I think he'll finish QB1 overall for week 1. That's over Mahomes. That's over Brady. That's over Aaron Rodgers, Kyler, Lamar, etc., etc. Trevor Lawrence, QB1 for week 1 versus the Houston Texans. I believe he has probably the best matchup on the schedule in week 1 to where he's able to perform at a high level. He'll have all three wide receivers, Shenault, Chark, Marvin Jones healthy, James Robinson there as well, Carlos Hyde playing the backup. Urban Meyer has his tools ready to go full speed for a game that matters. Now, Trevor Lawrence had looked really good during the preseason. He was able to sling the ball around, making some good connection with Marvin Jones as well. So I can see him putting up like 342 yards and having 3 touchdowns, et cetera, making him the QB1 overall for week 1. So don't be surprised if I hit on this. It really sounds like it can happen, but this is definitely a bold prediction. This is a hot take right now. So I'm saying, man, if he ends up doing this, this will be great confidence for him going into the next week, and then have Urban Meyer just sitting there rooting like, yeah, see, I know what I'm doing. Hey, yeah. So this will be a moment that I really want to hit, because I know a lot of fantasy players have Trevor Lawrence in their starting lineup, and I'll give them confidence for the rest of the season to keep him in the starting lineup as well. Now, for my next bold prediction for our rookie QBs. Now, I have Zach Wilson putting on a show, putting to an end of this revenge game for Sam Darnold, and basically just outperforming him at all levels and actually winning the game as well on top of that. So putting an end to a revenge game for Sam Darnold might just put the nail in the coffin for all the Sam Darnold believers, and he didn't break the Adam Gates curse, et cetera, et cetera. I know, overreaction week 1. That's usually what happens, but we all been here before. We're all fantasy players, right? We see the week 1 overreaction all the time. So what I'm saying is Zach Wilson wins the game, has the confidence, winning the 1-0 to start the season, and putting on a great fantasy performance, having him on a lot of people benches, but putting up 30 to 35 points. That could be something that we could see with Corey Davis and him building this great chemistry. And then, of course, the rookie Elijah Moore lighting up as well. This could be very possible, people. So that's my bold prediction, that Zach Wilson comes out with a dub and puts up 30 to 35 fantasy points with 3 touchdowns. I'm going to say it, 3 touchdowns, tongue-in-cheek saying that, of course, but 3 touchdowns for Zach Wilson. That's a great confidence booster for the rookie. Now, next up, this is a crazy scenario for my next one. Justin Fields makes an appearance in week 1 versus the Rams. Now, hear me out. I really think Andy Dalton is only starting because, 1, he doesn't want Justin Fields to get in the game, which Matt Nagy, I'm saying, he doesn't want Justin Fields to get in the game and get his head ripped off by a Rams defense. Aaron Donald is what I'm talking about. So you don't put the Lamborghini out there. You put the Kia Soul out there to, be the bruiser, to be the daily, to get the bumps and bruises, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the game will get so stretched away that he'll possibly make a change in the third quarter where he sees there's some type of light of winning the game against the Rams in week 1. So when he sees Andy Dalton struggling against the pressure, seeing that he's not able to see his receivers hit the vision and roll out and extend the plays, and et cetera, when you have a quarterback on the sidelines that we've seen was so polished and looked so good in the preseason, had a great camp, you got to throw Justin Fields in to win the game. You got to set the tone. You don't want to start 0-1 because you promise Andy Dalton you'll start him. That's basically what it's looking like. So you throw in a Justin Fields who can roll out of the pocket, extend the plays, get the job done with his feet on the ground, et cetera, et cetera. This is something that could possibly happen. It's a bold prediction right now, so that being that we'll see him in the third quarter or some point of the game. Sounds like a stretch. It doesn't sound like, Matt Nagy will do something so crazy like that to just pull the trigger on Fields, just to prove that he was like, no, I did start Andy Dalton, but I want to win the game at the same time as well. So I think at some point, as a bold prediction, we'll see Justin Fields and he'll end up having an okay performance because the game will probably be so stressed away where there's no return. And plus, it's prime time. Prime time. Put the freaking quarterback rookie that is polished and obviously better than Andy Dalton on the big stage and see what the kid got. He is the future. He's obviously the future for the Bears. So why not put him on the big stage and see what he can do? He looked great during preseason. So what's the worst that can happen? So this wraps up another great episode of Real Deal Fantasy HQ. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and leave a comment below on what you guys think about the episode. And hey, hit that link in the bio right now and download the app prizepicks.com. That's where I'll be making all my daily picks to make some cash, bring that cash home for the kids, put some bread on the table, and et cetera, et cetera. So hit that link down below. When you deposit, they'll match up to $100. $100 is free money, people. Go ahead, download the app right now. Use promo code FCO, and I'll see you guys next week for another great episode of Real Deal Fantasy HQ with your boy LQ. Peace.